Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or in trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Friday, November 24th. We're going to take a look at energy transfer today, ticker ET. So just beware, I am recording this before Friday's price action, before the market action on Friday, but I'm assuming that it may be a relatively low volume day. So, but just beware, if this looks different to you after Friday, that's why. So in any case, I noticed ET had, a setup which I thought could develop in an interesting way. Here it's been holding this uptrend support since it was back in the 10s. It's now up in the 13s. It's confirmed this uptrend support several times. Now it has been putting more pressure on it as of late. Once it got into the 13s, right, it approached it, got into it, it really started to push it, right, kind of 3 times in a row here, whereas it pushed it back here, and then even this big drop didn't come that close into it. So a couple of close-in taps here, and then recently we've been putting on a lot of pressure. So to a degree, that concerns me a little bit. Just I worry it goes to the well too many times, and if at some point the bulls or the buyers don't show up at that level, there could be sort of a capitulation. But it is potentially putting in this ascending triangle or flat top setup, which is one of my favorites, and it's knocking right on the door at the moment. So uptrend support continuing to hold. We'll see. It could come down, and as long as it holds this, it could, compress itself in here for quite some time still. So this may take a longer time to play out. But what I'm looking for is a break above this 1382 level. A clear, strong break, especially a break and a hold. So there's sort of 2 ways in which this plays out. If it does break to the upside, it doesn't have to. Breaks and just sort of, kind of races, kind of finds some space where there's not really a bunch of walls and it can move. Or moves up through, comes down, confirms support there, and then that's an opportunity to play off of the confirmed support and then ride the up wave. But just know, this could come in, it could, tap this level again, and it could plummet, right? Like I said, I don't know that this uptrend support is going to hold, but as long as it does, I'm really interested to see what may happen if there's a break of this flat top. Ascending triangle, flat top, whatever you want to call it. That's, like I said, one of my favorites. That said, I did have one that recently failed, but it was not as good of a setup as this. What ended up happening in the other one was it was actually sort of bear flagging up, and so that flat top acted as just a terminal point for the bear flag, and then it fell down through. But this setup to me does not look like a bear flag. This is just the stock climbing, whereas the other one was price action was up here, came down and established this uptrend in flat top. But like I said, turned out to just be a bear flag. So I didn't make a video on that one. So that was just totally to myself. But just know that even in this setup that doesn't look like a bear flag or is not a bear flag, this can still wedge out to the bottom. So this is just to say this is not a 100% setup. There is no such thing, shockingly enough. So on the Thinkorswim study here, what gives me some additional sort of wonder about this is on the histogram down here in the TTM squeeze indicator. Bearish momentum had been picking up. It died down. We're now starting to flip to the bullish momentum side of things. Again, that can fail pretty quickly. We saw that happen here. That was a pretty quick endeavor for the bulls. It didn't last very long. So again, these are all just indications, but nothing that is permanent or for sure. And then the other thing is, it's putting in a few candles to try to establish over the mid-range of the channel, and it has plenty of run room to the upper bound of the channel. If it wants to push up there, that would push it up toward 14. This channel shifts as new candles get put in, so just be aware it will shift every time a candle is put in. And it can spend some time out of the upper bound of the channel before it pulls itself back in. So those things have me wondering, if the histogram plays out as it may, and it's establishing in the upper half of the channel with some run room to the upper bound of the channel, while having that same space to stretch above this, right? That would break this previous flat top, which it confirmed, 3, 4, 5 times, depending on how you want to count them. That's where I see potentially an interesting confluence of events that could result in a nice move. So we'll see. But thought I'd share that. ET is something that I don't know if I've ever covered on here before, maybe, but is definitely not one of those that gets covered a ton. All right, folks, I hope that you have finished your week off strong. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.